Okay. I love Philip. All right, I am really, really so pleased to have this in the show. And if you picked up Philip's whiskey barrel planters that sold out, we have a good idea of how you're going to fill them up with this, with giant, giant beefsteak tomatoes. Can you imagine not only growing your own, but if you don't have a lot of space, or maybe you just don't choose to dig a big hole in the ground, you can grow these in a container. More than 12,000 have already been ordered. 200 just in this show. We do not have an unlimited supply. This is from Roberta's. It is your 4-piece red and pink tomatoes. So in about 50 days, you're going to have pounds of tomatoes. Devin Wallin is here with us. He is a true plant expert. I was just at his house this week. Oh my gosh, it's like a beautiful conservatory in there. Come on in, Devin. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you,
I've been
Sandra.
telling everybody about the plants at your house. I'm like,
that's so fun.
He is the real deal. Okay, so let's talk about growing your own.
Oh
These
my
do
gosh.
not look like tomatoes I could grow in a container, but that's what they're bred for.
Exactly. You know, the
Smells so
typical
good.
beefsteak tomatoes, we love them, but they require a lot of work. Typically, you got to grow them in the ground using those 8-10 foot tall cages,
Right.
and they typically take 100 to 120 days to fully mature and ripen. What we have here are the world's first ever heirloom style beefsteak tomatoes that are going to be able to be grown in a container, and you're going to be eating juicy tomatoes like that in as little as 50 days. They take half the time as those traditional ones. And you can expect—
You're blowing my mind, my friend.
But Sandra, you can expect up to 20 to 25 tomatoes per plant.
In
and
a
you're
container.
Getting 4.
You're
And
getting four. All right, so walk me through the varieties. This is called the red and pink.
Yes. So we have 2 different kinds in this collection. We have both the red Patio Pleaser and the pink Patio Pleaser. Now what these are heirloom style beefsteak tomatoes. So they have the classic flavor of an heirloom tomato, but they have that meaty texture of a beefsteak tomato. And in fact,
that's so cool.
These are the world's first ever of that category.
Okay,
and
this
you
is
cannot
amazing.
find them anywhere else in the world, but right here
Wow.
on QVC with Roberta's.
Okay, so those are so juicy, I gotta dry my hands off. So this is really interesting because it doesn't matter if you've grown tomatoes for decades and you think you're really good at it, you have never grown these. They are new, right this season. And here's what's so cool about this. They're gonna actually just taste so much better than what you get at the grocery store. I always think buying tomatoes and avocados feels like gambling to me because you never know what you're gonna get when you open them up. Are they gonna be mealy and white? Grocery store tomatoes are not grown for flavor as much as being durable and sitting on shelves.
Exactly.
These might not be durable, but it doesn't matter because you're gonna pick them and eat them, and they are gonna be so much more delicious than any grocery store tomato ever.
And you get 2 different flavor profiles. You get the classic red beefsteak, tastes like summer, and right here I have the Patio Pleaser pink, which is slightly sweeter, and they have that soft heirloom skin, which makes them oh so sumptuous.
Right, a grocery store wouldn't even carry these because unless they charged you an arm and leg, because they would sit in the boxes and get bruised.
Exactly.
These don't have time to bruise. You're gonna pick them out off your deck and eat them right away.
I'm gonna take a bite, is that
Go
all
ahead.
right?
Yes, please.
You can't find that flavor in any grocery store, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's why America's favorite edible to grow are tomatoes.
But they're not always easy, especially if you're someone who says, I don't want to go dig a hole, I don't have a lot of space. I actually love the idea of growing these up on my deck in a container because you know what? Less weeding, less worried about varmints.
Exactly.
I can kind of control the sun a little better up on my deck.
Exactly. Anywhere where you have a nice, hot, sunny area. I actually grow mine on my driveway. That's where I get the most sun. At the bottom of my driveway, it's close to the hose, so I can go out and water it when I need them.
Smart.
And
they look pretty.
They look beautiful. So this is actually what we're gonna be shipping to you guys. We're 4 of these beautiful tomato plants that are ready to grow.
Gosh, they smell so, I'm sorry to interrupt you, these smell so good.
Do you wanna take a bite?
You know what, I might just, come
Court,
on out, Court,
you wanna come take a
out.
bite? Let me cut a new fresh tomato for you. Let's move my little guy out of the way.
Do you know, I think I stopped you though, and I apologize. You were
Yeah.
going to say what size container we should put these in. I think that's where you're headed before
I
I was
was. Here you
overcome
go,
by how
Court.
good they smell.
This is just an easy 14-inch container, classic terracotta style. That's all you
Okay.
need. Oh, you like to put a little bread on? All right, Court. Isn't that delicious?
My first tomato sandwich of the season, yay!
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So I do want to let everyone know, please, the marigolds, we have these available as well. I bring these up because the marigolds are the perfect companion plant to the tomatoes. That is M89836. So grab the marigolds as well. And they're actually the most beautiful marigolds I've ever seen. But how soon from me getting these home to me having incredible heirloom
Juicy.
tomatoes? Yeah.
In as little as 50 days. Classic
Wow,
heirloom and
that's
beefsteak
fast.
tomatoes take up to 100 to 110 days to be fully mature and ripen. But here you can see one of our plants after 50 days. And Sandra, I said you can expect about 20 to 25 tomatoes
Yeah.
per plant. That's just very conservative. I counted earlier, there's over 50 tomatoes growing on this plant, and this is just one of your 4 that you'll be growing.
Oh, wow. That is
Isn't that
incredible.
amazing?
Oh, 1,000 have already been ordered. There was the information for those marigolds. Very quickly, and I don't want to spend too much time on the marigolds, but I do suggest you get them. Why are marigolds, your marigolds especially, so great to grow with the tomatoes? I mean, they
Well,
also just look really pretty on a deck.
They're beautiful. Our marigolds are very nice and compact with extra large flowers. And personally, I always eat organic. Eating organic is very expensive in the stores,
Yes, it is.
especially with tomatoes. So when I grow my own tomatoes at home, I never use any pesticides, but that doesn't mean that I can't do a little bit extra to keep the varmints away. And that's why I grow marigolds with my tomatoes. It's a natural repellent to those pesky varmints.
See, isn't that such a great tip? So maybe you want to wow them with your own kind of beautiful pizza, or you just want to get that like thick white bread and make your own sandwich. That's Court's favorite. But look, this is the world's easiest and maybe fanciest salad. Some fresh mozzarella, and then you just put a layer, stack it up. The mozzarella, the tomato, put some
Oh,
fresh
yeah.
basil on there,
If that's
a
not
little
summer,
balsamic glaze.
I don't know
and,
what is.
But that's when I serve that, it really looks like you know what you're doing and you
Like,
really
looks
did
like
something. It's easier than making just a tossed salad.
A
It's so
$15
easy.
appetizer at a local Italian joint.
You know what? I'm looking at this salad. It looks beautiful. Okay, so how about this? Can we just show you right here? Imagine you're grilling your burgers, but next to the grill, you're growing your heirloom tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
They will taste so much better when they're warm from the sun. So you're getting 4 of them. And tell me again as we wrap this up. Okay, well, I was gonna ask you what makes these so different. You can see with your eyes what makes these so different, but truly, what makes this brand new this year?
What makes these brand new, the world's first ever heirloom style beefsteak tomatoes that can be grown in containers. You will have your tomatoes ready to be eaten in 50 days, which is about half the time it takes for other heirlooms and beefsteak tomatoes to produce their fruit. And we are the only people in the entire world that have these tomatoes. We have the exclusive collection that we worked with to bring them here on QVC.
And that means you'll be the first to have them too. That is non-grocery store tomato. Tell me about this guarantee. Court's gonna run out here and grab a sandwich.
We want to make sure you guys are growing happily, so we're going to assure your satisfaction for perennials for 1 year, annuals and tropicals for 90 days from the time of shipment. So if for any reason your results don't match your expectations, just give us a call.
Thank you so much, Devin. And those are very, very, very popular. Do not wait. Okay, now we have a little bit of jewelry for your yard.